Hell yeah, it's complicated. First of all, it's a machine. But let's be honest, it's more than that. This is your passion, your hobby, the ritual, the result. You dedicate your time and energy to chasing the perfect shot. And then one day you find it, the Meticulous, the most ambitious espresso machine ever made. You bring it home, and 3 months later, yeah, it's complicated. I call her Maddie. Don't judge me. Some things about her will blow your mind. Some things will drive you insane. But by the end of this video, you'll know if it was worth it or a $2,000 mistake. Let me tell you why I bought this thing. Because it wasn't just about espresso. First, I saw Carlos Pendas, the engineer behind Meticulous. I remember thinking this guy is locked in. When you hear him talk, you feel it, the obsession, the belief. This wasn't some soulless corporation dropping another machine into the market. This was one person saying, this is where espresso could go. And then he built it. Wouldn't you want to be part of that? This will put a wrinkle in your brain. The Meticulous is a lever machine. That's where espresso started. 1945, a Chile Gaja, 9 bars of pressure, crema, the original espresso experience. Carlos took that idea and merged it with software. Wait, this has actually been tried before. This idea of controlling espresso with software? This isn't brand new. Well, there was ZPM, a company that never really made it. And then there was the Decent, which came to market around 2018 and actually delivered. Touchscreen, profiles, flow control. You could literally design a shot. And people went deep with it. You're not just pulling espresso anymore, you're building it. So no, this didn't just come out of nowhere. This has been building for years. But here's the thing, none of those felt like this. Because this isn't just trying to recreate espresso, it's trying to build it from the ground up. And then it hit me. This isn't just another smart espresso machine. This is someone looking at the entire history of espresso and asking, what if we could do it all on one machine? And in my opinion, this is the first time it actually feels complete. And that's where things get interesting. What makes Meticulous different? It's the integrated scale built right into the drip tray. At first you think it's just convenience. Like cool, it stops the shot at 36 grams. But it's more than that. It's doing something way more interesting. It's constantly talking to the motor, adjusting pressure in real time, matching the profile as the shot flows. It doesn't just stop at a weight, it lives on the weight. And that's when it clicked for me. This isn't just another programmable machine. This is the next step in the evolution of espresso, where it finally comes to life. So Maddie arrives, I set her up, plug her in, load the portafilter, pull the first shot. It was perfect, balanced, clean, sweet. First shot, right out of the gate, beginner's luck. I remember thinking, this is something special. That was just the beginning, because then I discovered the community profiles, because this is where it gets really fun. There's a site, MetProfiles.link, and on there, the community has built and shared a massive library of profiles. Profiles are just instructions that tell the machine how to pull the shot from pressure to flow and everything in between. I found profiles that mimic other espresso machines, different styles, different approaches. Some profiles are adaptations from the Decent ecosystem because at the end of the day, it's just data. This isn't just one machine. It's a platform. It's magic. This is a precision instrument that gives you the most consistent, repeatable, reliable shots you've ever pulled. I could run experiments on variables of extraction and know the Meticulous is a constant. Nothing went wrong until it did. The honeymoon was real, but honeymoons don't last forever. But here's where it gets real. Before Maddie ever pulled her first shot, we had some challenges getting connected to the internet. There's an app, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and it's all involved. If your network isn't set up right, it could give you trouble. So right out of the gate, I had to set up a separate network just to get my espresso machine online. Not a great start. Not horrible either. But I figured it out, moved on, and for a while everything was incredible. But here's the part we might not think about up front. This thing runs on software, and software changes. It updates, it evolves, and sometimes it breaks. The app was working just fine, and then one day, I open it up, and nothing. Machine's on, phone's trying to connect. You know that feeling when you're trying to start your car and it just won't start? Yeah, that feeling. Not angry, just confused. Now inside the app, there's shot history, where you can see the history of all your shots. It's probably my favorite feature. And one day, it just wasn't there. I tried everything. Turned the machine off, unplugged it, turned it back on, reconnected, closed the app, open it, all the typical stuff, and nothing. Then, while the app was open, I went into the shot history on the machine itself, and boom, there it was. It showed up on the app. Now that was a workaround, and it didn't work all the time. That actually cost me the ability to show shot comparisons in my latest espresso baskets video, because no matter what I did, it just wouldn't show up. Wouldn't that drive you insane if you couldn't analyze your shots? If you think that's bad, wait until you hear this. Now I can get around not seeing my shot history, but I can't get around no profiles. One morning I opened the app to pull a shot, and every single profile is gone. Vanished. Like select all, delete, just gone. Now I've dealt with connectivity issues, I dealt with shot history not loading, I was collecting workarounds like trading cards, but this was something different. Every recipe I had collected, altered, or created was gone. Imagine that feeling of arriving home and something that was always there is just suddenly gone. But here's the thing, I checked Maddie's screen, the profiles were still on the machine. Let me be very clear, the machine never failed me, not once. It has been the conversation between the machine and the app that creates headaches. And that is when I realized I needed help. Good thing I already knew where to find it. I was not alone. There was a meticulous community, a place for group therapy to take place. 1 week after getting Maddie home, I was on the Meticulous Discord. That's how fast this machine pulls you in. But you could find it and join even before you get your Meticulous. The Meticulous Discord is called Officially Unofficial Meticulous Therapy. I mean, they put it right there in the name. These are my people. I'll be honest with you, when I first joined, I had a little imposter syndrome. I felt like I had walked into a very sophisticated coffee church and I didn't know the hymns yet. But then Rory and Iron Lappin showed up and just welcomed me in. No judgment, no gatekeeping, just genuine warmth, enthusiasm, and knowledge shared freely. That's what this community is. An espresso congregation, if you will. I've met some really great people there. And here's what matters for you if you're thinking about this machine. The Discord isn't just a nice bonus, it's part of the machine's ecosystem. Because when the app frustrates you, and it will, the community is there. Someone has already had your problem, already found the workaround, and already waiting to help you. And it's not just the community either. This is meticulous, pushing updates constantly, sometimes multiple times in a single week. Bug fixes, new features, improvements to the exact connectivity issues we've been dealing with. There was even an update that apologized to Android users for connectivity issues and then fixed it. That's not a company that doesn't care. That's a small, passionate team building something in real time. Maybe we need to remember, all of us are early adopters of something that is still becoming what it's going to be. I don't feel frustrated. I feel like I'm part of something. We can't fight the machine. We just got to work with it. Stop waiting for perfect and just keep showing up. You keep doing that, and you'll have those days you look forward to. For example, you wake up, no work, no schedule, nowhere to be. Make your way to the kitchen, and Maddie is just sitting there. Beautiful, patient, ready. You pull up MetProfiles.link and find yourself a profile you've never tried before. It's time to have some fun. You download it, you load it up, and start playing. Adjust the grind, tweak the dose, examining pressure curves, trying a bloom, no bloom, gradual pressure increase, gradual decrease. Shot after shot, the graph tells you what happened. The taste tells you which direction to go. More sweetness? Adjust this. Better balance? Try that. This is what Meticulous is built for. This, right here. The conversation between you, the data, and the coffee. Then it happens. One last adjustment. Watch the espresso flow into the glass, and wow, that's good. That's it. That's the whole review right there. That moment. That's what $2,000 buys you. Not an app that's perfect, not zero frustration, not a machine that never gives you trouble, but that experience right there. But you came here for an honest answer. So let me give you the truth about this machine and who it's actually for. The Meticulous is not for everyone, and I mean that with zero judgment. If you just want to wake up, press a button, pull a shot, and move on with your day, you could do that with this machine. But you don't need this machine to do that. If you have zero interest in pressure profiles, flow rates, what a bloom does, why declining pressure matters, this isn't your machine. If the idea of dealing with apps, connectivity issues, and updates, and that occasional thing just not working the way it should, if that makes you want to throw something through a wall, just walk away. It's not your machine. But if you're someone who geeks out on this stuff, if you find yourself down a rabbit hole at midnight reading about extraction theory and pressure curves, if the idea of an evidence-based approach to espresso excites you, then this machine is for you. Here's the thing most reviews miss. The excitement is not in the moment. The excitement happens before you ever press the button. It's in the planning, the profile selection, the variables you set, the experiment you design. And then you press the button and you watch it execute perfectly. It's not conducting the train, it's planning the journey. And then buying a ticket and watching it arrive exactly where you planned. That's a completely different kind of thrill. So 3 months and $2,000 later, was it worth it? If you're on the fence, I hope this helped. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember, explore, learn, and brew together.